Hello YouTube, welcome to AB and Jack Media YouTube channel, and here we keep things simple.
So this tutorial is a continuation or part 2 of how to remove background from image. The link to the part 1 is in the description of this video. You might want to check that out to have a full understanding of where we're coming from. So we're going to remove the background around this transparent image, around this heart or fascinator, as you may want to call it. It's a heart, a fascinator, whatever. But we're going to remove the background around this transparent part here of this image right here. I've zoomed it in so you see clearly what we're going to do. First step, you come over here to the eraser tool. What we need to use is the background eraser tool. So we have to click on this eraser tool, hold down, we access the background eraser tool here and click on that. It comes up onto the board. So we'll go to settings, the tolerance. All right, we'll set the tolerance to 20%. Okay, because we want the background to be removed, not completely. Remember, this part is transparent, so we need to make it a little, we need to leave a little bit of this original background so that the background, the new background coming in, will show lightly, keeping that, preserving that transparent look. So we reduce the tolerance to 20% to achieve that, and we'll click on sampling once here, over here. Make sure this is selected. Okay, so you come over here and make sure the limit is set here. You click this, all right? Not this, not this, but this. Let it be here. So I'm going to reduce this tool a bit, and how it's done is you press and hold on the background you want to remove. So I'll press hold, all right? Then I'll bring it into this transparent zone, the image. I'll bring it in there, drag it across like that. Do it, and then you can see the background under showing. It's showing now, you can see how it's transparent. So we achieved this because we set the tolerance to 20. It mustn't be exactly on 20. It depends on how the image comes. The idea is the tolerance should be set to a low figure. It could be 15%, it could be 10%, depending on how the image comes. Try it out on your image and see what works best for you. So this is great. Remember how to use it. You press hold down. While you press, you hold down and drag into your transparent image. Drag, rub over the image until you're done with the portion you want to remove. All right, that's how you do it. So we're done with this part, neatly removed, and you can see the heart is still, or the fascinator is still transparent, and the new background is showing. All right, so we're going to go to the hair now. The same thing applies here. We're going to click on the background and drag it to the hair. Okay, and you see it takes the hair out. I don't really like the outcome of this, so I'll undo that. Let me undo. I'll adjust my tolerance to say 50. I'm going to increase this to 50% because the hair is darker than the background a lot. There's contrast. The background color is lighter than the hair. When the contrast is not much, when there's no difference between the background color and the image, you want to reduce your percentage as appropriate. Okay, but I'm using a 50% tolerance setting because this image is contrasted to the background. So I'll set this to 50%. Okay, that entered that. So I'll press the background, press and hold, then drag it over. Sorry, undo that. Or reduce the tool, press hold, then drag it over the hair. You can see that's a little too much, so I'll undo that. This is how it works. You gotta adjust until you get the right. So let's try a lower percentage, 30. I'll try 30. Enter that. We'll try it again. And 30 works perfectly for me. So you can see how it's going. Perfect. So for my image, 30% works just fine. Okay, I rub that over there until we have the background totally removed from around the hair. So I would want to change this background color to white so you see what the hair strands look like. So I changed that to white so you can see the hair strands are perfectly preserved. All right, so that's how to remove the background around the hair strands. We're using quick selection tool to remove the background in this tutorial, mostly because the background for this image is uniform, right? And it is the color, is the shade and the color is different from our image. So the quick selection tool, it makes it easier for the quick selection tool to work. Okay, that is why we're using the quick selection tool. In a case where your background has a lot of colors, like your background is flowery or some kind of landscape, it's not a uniform color as it is in this image, you will have to use the polygon tool that does the selection of the background manually. You click and select manually, like I'm doing here right now. You see I'm selecting this image manually. You click, drag, click, drag, click, drag, click, click, drag, click, drag, click, drag, click, like that. Click, that's how you do it. Then I'll bring it over here, double click. So it's fully selected. I've selected the background, and then I will go ahead, since the polygon tool is already set, feather is already set to 3. I don't need to come here and refine the edges as we would have done if we were using the quick selection tool. The polygon tool has its feather already set to 3. So I'll go ahead and delete this twice. Okay, so I'll click on this, then click outside the selection to view my edge, so you can see the edge well deleted and looking clean and nice. You can as well use the polygon tool on a plain background, but the quick selection tool makes it faster if the background is a uniform color and the color is different from your image. Why not take advantage of the quick selection tool and use it to speed up your work? Okay, doesn't hurt to use the polygon tool. I've selected this here with the polygon tool as well. I'll click right there, click outside selection. Sorry, let me undo that. I'll click back on my polygon tool. Remember, it's set to 3, the feather. I'll delete that twice. So to see the edge of my image, I'll have to click here, click out, and then I'll see what I've done clearly. All right, so this is looking good. So you can do this until you are done removing the whole background. Remember, when you're using the quick selection tool, let me select this part, click and drag around, drag around the background close to the edge of my image, so it selects the edge for me. So when I do this, you can see right here it was unable to select the edge of this image accurately. So I need to come to the polygon tool as we did in part 1. I'll click here, subtract, and take this part back and align it with the edge of the image, as you can see. But in case I take it back and I miss the edge, for instance, if I do this, okay, I miss the edge, look at the edge, see where I selected, see the edge here, over here, see I selected outside the edge. In case I missed that, you can click here, add to selection. That way it brings it, it will add it, all right, back all the way to the edge here. Okay, I'm going to add that, and it brings it back to align with the edge. So we can add or we can subtract. You can see if I subtract, it takes it back. If I add, it brings it to align back. Okay, that's how you do it. So you will be a lot of times moving between this button and this button, subtracting and adding as the case may be. When you are subtracting, for instance, I'm taking this part out. When you're subtracting, you close the opposite way like this. Okay, you subtract. When you're adding, the same thing goes. I'm adding here, I'm adding, aligning with the edge of this image. I'll close the opposite way, double click, then it closes. That's how you do it. Sometimes when you're using the polygon tool, you want to select and mistakenly, for instance, if I want to click here, select the edge manually like that, click, drag, click, like that. For instance, I intend to do this, but let me undo this. Instead of doing that, I mistakenly click here. You see, in here. How you undo this is by pressing backspace, and then it goes away. So you start again. You can start back, select here, and continue my selection. All right. If I mistakenly go in here, I just backspace, press backspace to take me back. All right, and I continue. If I mistakenly go in here, press backspace once. If you press it more than once, as you press it undoes all the points, all the joints. Okay, you can see I've done that to the last point, and if I do it one more time, it takes out everything. So that's how to undo your polygon selection if you make any mistake.
If you liked this video, please subscribe, hit the bell button, like, and share with people who might also need this kind of content. Also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at AB and Jack Media. This is AB and Jack Media YouTube channel, and here we keep things simple.